They don't even trade potato futures anymore. Why pick potato futures? I have no idea. I think that's probably what my broker said I should be trading. Maybe he said that there was, there was an opportunity in potato futures. But anyway, I made money, and of course, and just like most people who make money, their first trade or their second trade, it's about as easy as one could imagine, and therefore you think to yourself, oh my God, why didn't I learn about this a long time ago? That sounds kind of familiar, right? In terms of the thought process. And I went from trading potatoes to trading gold to trading silver. And I'd say my trading experience back then was probably typical, even to what it is today with most people. Although you have to keep in mind that the technology that we had back then wasn't anything like what you have available to you right now today. It still boggles my mind when I think about the way we had to trade 25 years ago, or almost 30 years ago, compared to what's available right now. I mean, I've always been attracted more to trading commodities than stocks. As a matter of fact, I've never even traded stocks. I've always traded commodities and options. And I've never really had the desire to trade on the floor of the exchange. Although I lived in Chicago for 20 years, it never really appealed to me. I don't know how many people are familiar with the floor or the trading pits, but I just thought it was an extremely harsh environment, and not something that just, like I said, it appealed to me. But the kind of trading platforms that you guys have available to you today really truly approximate what it would be like to have a seat at the Chicago Board of Trade or Chicago Mercantile Exchange and to trade at that level. You have instantaneous execution. And it's like you can change your mind and not feel humiliated or like there's something wrong with you. You can put it in order. You can cancel it. Back before the advent of electronic trading platforms, we used to have to call a broker. Now you think about the time you made a decision to put on a trade. You think about the time that it takes one to dial the phone, for someone to pick the phone up. How many times it has to ring, and then he gets on the other end of the line. You got your broker, and then you give your broker your order, and then you've got to deal with the fact that, does your broker really approve of your order? In other words, what I mean by approve is that, well, see, I want to buy 3 gold contracts, and say, well, some of my biggest customers, they just went short gold. Now what are you going to do with that information? Okay. Or I've got, X number of guys that are on the other side of that trade, and say, well, yeah, if you want to, take the other side of their trade, I mean, that's fine with me. I'll put the order in. So it's like, so he could put the order in, and then, you got to wait for a fill. I can't tell you how many times that I put orders in the market where they were limit orders because they didn't want to do a market order, because I didn't want to get the slippage of a market order. So you do a limit order, and on a limit order, the market has to trade to be guaranteed to fill. The market has to trade through your price, does it not? How many times has the market traded to your price, okay, just right to your price on a buy order, and reversed, and you didn't get filled? That's very possible. The problem when you're doing it with a broker over the phone is that order goes into the pit. It goes to an executing broker in the pit itself. So you've got a runner, and the order got to go back to the runner, back to the phone bank, back to the broker, and the broker calls you with a fill. You're talking several minutes. Now, what if you're in a situation in a fast market where the market actually hit your price? You may have gotten filled, but you really don't know. You don't want to put a stop in the market because you don't even know if you're in or not. And the market's screaming, let's say, even in your favor, and you'd like to take profits, but you still haven't gotten your fill back yet. You don't even know if you're in the market. This is the kind of stuff we had to deal with all the time. All the time. It was a completely different world. Not only that, the only information that we had available to us was open, high, low, and close. That was it. open, high, low, and close bars. And we used to have to get those unless we talked to our broker and pestered them, X number of times a day. If you get it through the Wall Street Journal. You used to have to keep your own daily charts. Intraday stuff was just like non-existent. So anyway, I started trading like that. I went through well, I don't even remember what my first trading account was. I think it was around $20,000. I lost all of that, and then saved up some money and opened up another one for around 15. Lost all of that, and then went to another broker. And I'm thinking, this guy doesn't know what he's doing, and I'll find somebody who does. And then this is what really this is probably the reason I'm even standing here today, was this particular trade, because this particular trade it had a profound impact on me in terms of how it changed my life and what I was willing to do to find out what this was all about. To find out really, what does it take to be a consistently successful trader? What does it take to really be able to earn an income as a trader? I was long silver. This would have been back in right around 1980 or 1981, or 1980, I think. I was long silver at around $9.75 an ounce, and there's two 5,000 ounce contracts at the COMEX. In other words, I was long 10,000 ounces of silver at $9.75 an ounce. And right after I got into the market dropped about 20 cents on me to about $9.55. So I was down $2,000. And my broker said, well, okay,
All right, what's up, y'all? What's up, Jerry? How's it going?
What's up, fam?
Just gonna get through this real quick. So ACAD, it looks like we came down and we accumulated, came back up, and then we distributed up here in this redistribution, broke order flow. And so I'm looking for like a distribution up here somewhere. Anywhere right here. But I am also possibly looking at the 80% of this move up right here. And pip stop. Hey, chef. Kind of similar, so we got an accumulation in here. And then we did break a structure on the 4 hour. So came up, distributed here on the lower time frame, came back up and redistributed again. So looking for a distribution in this area, and if not, obviously up in here. Hey Jay, I did catch this long here off of reaccumulation. I think that's when it went to 36. Yeah, it's coming back down. I expect it to come down in here and accumulate, because we got another type 4 accumulation here. Or actually, no, we got a type 2. And I was looking to short out of this position right here. When it was, I think it was like somewhere around here. It never came up. Obviously, it redistributed again and made a new low. So I'm looking for a possible distribution up here. It could still come up. So I've still got this, but obviously it's a 19 pip stop, so I won't be setting that. I'll just be looking for a distribution. AU got an accumulation into this area right here. Broke structure. And order flow is coming down right now. I do want to see it come down and accumulate somewhere in here. So just looking at these two areas to sell from. Obviously, I'm gonna need a distribution from here, and then I think this stop is pretty big. Pip stop. So yeah, so I'm gonna be looking at those two areas for AU. Cash Chef. Not really sure. I do see this accumulation here, so that's kind of why I do want to see a distribution here to maybe sell down, but I want to see it break a order flow first. All right, it's a broke order flow right there. Never mind. So yeah, so I'll be looking for a distribution up here, but I want to see it come below here, and if not, yeah, obviously a distribution up in there. This area right here. As you can see, we did get this nice distribution right here. So I might make a new low. CAD Chappy. Yeah, so we got this distribution here, made a new low. And so I was looking for a short up here, but obviously we came up distributed right in here. And then we broke order flow. So now we're bearish on order flow. So just looking at this last redistribution here, we got our low before it, and then the high in between. Obviously, we're taking this because this is the mitigation from that move. So that's the last like real push up. So that's what we'll be looking at. But obviously gonna look for a distribution because it could come up higher. Chef Chappy, we got this accumulation here. And as you can see, we've slowly just been walking down into this RSTNB. So looking to maybe if we get a distribution to short into it, hopefully. But obviously we're going to start seeing an accumulation in here. EA. So it came down and accumulated right in our area in this low here. And then we reaccumulated and made a new high. So we're looking to either buy from this area or down here. Those are the two areas I'm looking at. Yo, chef. Looking for an accumulation right here out of this accumulation. Yeah, it looks like it might be accumulating right here. So I want to see it come down a little bit lower. But yeah. DG. So we were looking for these up here. These limits. Not this one, I don't think. 17 pip, but the other one. And didn't quite come up, distributed, and we broke order flow. So I'm gonna be looking right up in here for a distribution. And it did come down and accumulate. I believe Joe called out a buy from here. Anyone that was trying to catch that. Or didn't call out, but he saw it. EJ. So you see, I was expecting a distribution somewhere in here, but we got it a little bit higher. And then we've just been making our way down. So just looking at this area for now for a distribution, just to follow order flow. But yeah. EN. So I've been waiting for it to come down to this area to accumulate for a while. So it looks like we started to get a nice, we got to change the character here. So yeah, I don't know. I'm possibly looking at just to follow a lower time frame order flow or structure. I'm looking at this accumulation right here. And you can see here we got a type 5. It's a 15 pip stop, so I might be setting it. We'll see. I do want to see bigger sign of strength though. At least above this week. EU. We did come and accumulate. I think we broke this high. So now we're bullish. Looking at this area and then this area for an accumulation as well, because as you can see, we got an accumulation here and we got a fractal. G Chef. As you can see, I missed a few buys. I was trying to catch them I believe it was last week or a couple weeks ago. And then this limit also got stopped out, which means that order flow is back bullish. I mean, not order flow, yeah, order flow. Sure. So, gonna be looking down in here for an accumulation. Obviously, anywhere in these, really. Anywhere after the 50% of this entire move will be valid. And J. So we came up and got a nice distribution right here. I'd like to see more of a sign of weakness, but if it does come up and distribute in here, I'll be taking it. S&P. So I'm still looking for this buy down here. It's looking pretty nice. It's starting to walk itself down. So hopefully it'll keep moving slowly. I'll set it when it gets closer. UCAD. So it did come down and react off of this area right here. And then we broke order flow. So could be looking for an accumulation down in here. But that's pretty much about it. Unless it makes a new high here, then I'll be looking in this area. Gold. So we are in bearish order flow. Just looking at this right here, but looks like we accumulated pretty nicely right here. Yeah. We got kind of a sign of strength. I'd like to see it probably break this to really have more confidence, but could look in this area for an accumulation on the lower time frame. But that's it, guys. I'll have more for you guys tomorrow. Y'all have a good night. I appreciate you guys for tapping in.
Great night, brother.